How are you there, comrades? ZANU-PF is sitting foolishly comfortable, resting on sovereignty, and kuti British hati tonke, as if those words can help them survive what is coming. Cyril Ramaphosa's people were ambushed and stopped in Poland, stuck in Poland for over 1 day because of his pro-Russian stand, which I've advised in South Africa is ill-advised, but because the corrupt ANC wants to align itself with the corrupt Antichrist Vladimir Putin, who's against the global the global system, the rules-based order of the world. So Poland is showing Cyril Ramaphosa that you pro-Putin countries who don't like you. That's just the beginning. Okay. So there is ZANU-PF there. Together, as you can see what is going on to Ramaphosa in Europe. And Idim Nangako, also another Putin ally. He's resting there thinking that now it's okay. It's not okay, Mr. Idim Nangako. I will remind you once again that in the Bible, Jeremiah was sent by God to warn the king of Judah about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar. They refused until 2 times Nebuchadnezzar came. The first one, he dragged the king off the seat, and the king died. And then to put another king who rebelled. And Nebuchadnezzar came and took off and took all those Israelites. For 70 years, they were stuck in Babylon. Now, the geopolitics of then and the geopolitics of today is the same, because the kings in Judah rebelled and began to be aligned to Egypt. That's why the Bible says, "Woe to them woe to them who rely on Egypt." Today, it's a woe to Idim Nangako who relies on Putin. For you shall be judged, say. You see, I don't know how ZANU-PF thinks. In fact, I do understand. When they oppress the ordinary Zimbabweans, they believe, what are they going to do to us? They're just poor people who have got the guns, who are the military. Bruh, you're not as powerful as NATO. NATO could not fight the war for the Zimbabweans. Our battle against ZANU-PF has got nothing to do with NATO or the United States. Well, at least the United States is a superpower. It tries to sanction ZANU-PF to put them in line, but ZANU-PF does not respect those sanctions, doesn't care anyway. It doubles down, it finds a work around those sanctions. And you know, they boast that Roshaya girl, Nangagwa's cousin, who will never be anywhere near my government or any institution of power when I become president. She said that we are busting. You boastfully saying that we are busting these sanctions. We're busting these sanctions. And they put laws against people who advocate for sanctions. You know, the sanctions are there to make sure that ZANU-PF does the right thing, respect rule of law, and give people their rights. But instead, they work around those sanctions so that they can carry on oppressing the people and denying people their basic human rights. Now, and because these sanctions have been on for many years and the global village has been watching ZANU-PF doing what ZANU-PF does, and therefore they come to rest assured that nothing is going to touch them, no one is going to touch them. Only is a thing, Mr. Itim Nangakwa, that you have never calculated or that you miscalculated in your calculations, is that not only did you botchela on the Zimbabweans, manje usubhotshela emthonjeni obukugcinile ngoba umthombo that kept you in power, Mr. Itim Nangako, was the global system that gave you the right to be sovereign. Your sovereignty, I always say on this channel, that countries are only as sovereign as the superpower agrees. Now, ZANU-PF usubhotshele emthombeni superpower because there you are supporting an enemy of the superpower. Right now, the superpower and NATO forces are after Putin, and Putin's allies. Ubonile when Ramaphosa, not only in Poland, when Ramaphosa went to Ukraine, in Kiev, to meet Zelensky and all of these other African presidents, did you see what the Russians did? They bombed their place with African delegates there. Usually, the norm is that when there is dignitaries or there is diplomats, the Russians wouldn't shell Kiev. They will respect the presence of politicians. But when Ramaphosa was there with Africans, Putin is showing you he doesn't give a damn about Africans. But yet the foolish African leaders still support Vladimir Putin. Ramaphosa can say we're non-aligned. We know what that means, man. You are pro Putin. Your army guy went to Moscow to speak to do. Why would you go to Moscow? You are selling arms to Russia. That is known. Yeah, doing military drills with Russia. Then you say we're non-aligned. You think that so the Polish people were angry with that, so they're trying they're giving a middle finger to Ramaphosa. At the same time, this Ramaphosa also, his ally Putin is shelling at him and these African leaders, trying to show you good, you people are black people who don't care about you, you are just nothing. What is Itim Nanga? Itim Nanga, if Putin can can send his boys to shoot at Ramaphosa when Ramaphosa is in Kiev, what makes you think that when NATO comes to attack you in Harare, Putin is going to send efforts to rescue you? You think that those helicopters that you are pretending to be helicopters, what are they pretending for? They're saying it's for victims of cyclones. You think that those helicopters are as failure, do you think they're gonna help you when NATO comes knocking at your door, Mr. E.T.? You see, the Bible says that it's not the Bible. Is it the Bible that him? It's not the Bible. It says him who lives by the sword dies by the sword. I don't know if it's in the Bible. It's just a normal quotation, but it says him who lives by the sword dies by the sword. You remove Robert Mugabe by force. Even you eat him nangako. Those who remove you, they shall remove you by force as well. And this time around, as I'm telling you, go to this global alliance, usubhotshele emthonjeni obunathela kuwo. Your sovereignty, Mr. E.T., was only guaranteed by the global powers. But now that you are actually screwing them at the back, the global powers, and keep you in power. So what is the reason that the United States and NATO must just quietly leave you like that, do as you please in Zimbabwe to the Zimbabweans? At the same time, you are supporting Putin, who is actually the one who is trying to destroy, terrorize the Western system, including a Putin that supports Donald Trump so that he can become a president of America, and then they use that influence to further decay our rules-based global system. So you see, Mnangagwa, you're not in safe hands there where you are. Don't think that the Chinese are going to help you also. Have you ever heard the Chinese supporting Putin verbally? No. The Chinese, we know they are Putin's friends, but you never hear them say that they support Putin. The Chinese also condemn the invasion of Ukraine because they know they are careful. They're treading on careful grounds. And if someone is being pursued by NATO because of supporting Putin, the Chinese are not going to come for your help because they don't want to be seen doing that. Because the Chinese also have to balance their relationships with the United States and the Western allies. Their trade heavily depends on USA and Europe. A global cut of China from the global system is terrible for China as well. So China has to protect its own economy by managing its relations with Europe and the United States. So they will not risk that relationship over Harare. What is Harare? What is Harare? So you see, Mr. Mnangagwa, you are heavily isolated. You are very isolated. Your friends, Putin, won't come to help you. As I'm telling you, Putin was bombing at Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa it, it's a foolish decision that the ANC makes anyway. But I think their foolishness was fully realized for the whole world to see. When Ramaphosa was being shelled in Ukraine, and his plane was stuck in Poland. Clearly, both sides of the war, both the Polish side and the Russian side, are telling them that you can go back to Africa, you are useless. And if they can do that to Ramaphosa, a bigger country, what do you think they're going to do to Zimbabwe? What is Zimbabwe? What is Zimbabwe when NATO fights Putin's bank account in Harare? Do you think Putin is going to come and rescue Mnangagwa? Do you think China is going to come and rescue Mnangagwa? No, they will not. There is a verdict say. So, njengoba nje you are stealing the Zimbabwe money. If I were you, Mr. Itimna, if I were you, let me give you advice what you must do. If I were you, Mr. Mnangagwa, today, I will resign as the president of Zimbabwe and go live in Dubai or in Dubai because they are your friends. But they will also have to give you up if the temperature gets hot, you or go to Malaysia. They seem to be taking corrupt monies from around the world. Go there, Malaysia or Dubai, who also are seemingly to be willing to take corrupt money from around the world. Go there and stay there, Mr. Mnangagwa. Perhaps you'll be safe there. While it's still too early. This is a very good advice. Just take your wife, your whole family, get out of Zimbabwe. Sooner or later, we will resign and you are appointing me. Oban is going to take over the country. Always God. Have a great evening.